nice. Jimmy McHugh, I've heard of him. Harold somebody, Adamson maybe. And I have a chart here. I don't know where I got it, but I wrote some different chords up there because that's what I heard the Eddie Higgins Trio play. So it uses a lot of block chords. All right, it's really more of a G minor there. So even if you're doing block chords like this, if you got a bass player, put him down there on G minor would be nice. And then here we've got C. Here's where block chords can get a little tricky. On dominant chords, because on C dominant, the D would be harmonized this way, but that's just not going to sound right here, I don't think. Well, I guess it could, leading into it. And then they just go right to F again, not A minor. Now here's just a classic case for block chords. All right. Whether you're thinking F major or D minor, it's really the same thing. You can do this series on D minor. Sorry. And it's exactly the same as if it was an F6th, right? Because look, D minor 7th and F6 are the same chord. So, it's kind of interchangeable for the major or the relative minor. And since we're going to try to use G minor as our first chord, a nice D7 is the best way to get there. However, you could do it the way it is here on the chart. The only reason for simplifying it, I think, is, sometimes it just makes it a little bit more 2-5-1-ish. All right, jazz musicians love that 2-5-1, and so any place they can use it, it's usually in there on these old standards. But, there's not much difference really here between one and the other. B flat, major 7th, G minor 7th, almost the same notes. Second ending. Right. And then I do believe I heard a little B7 with the flat 5 there to get to our B flat in the bridge. Now, one thing that doesn't get talked a lot about with these block chords is like alternate ways. We're taught to go, F6, diminished chord, F6, diminished chord, F6. And Jeremy Siskind just did a video about this recently where instead of like the diminished chord, he was just, doing something like that. All right, just following the scale a little bit more. There's kind of another thing that you can do too, which is like, and I don't know if he covered this because I didn't watch the whole video, but you can, if you have a half step, just, if you're going to like a G minor, just approach it chromatically, like from F sharp minor 7th to G minor 7th. Not saying it'll work in this situation, but that's one of the techniques that you can use. So on the bridge, right, the chord's E flat, but I heard the bass player just stick on a B flat minor, and it's the same chord really. If you have B flat minor 6, right, it's an E flat chord, right? Or it could be thought of that way anyway. This is a really important thing too on major chords. There's a whole series of things Barry Harris this whole series of things you can do on every chord going up the scale. Yeah, I got lost, but you get the idea. So yeah, that's just a simplification of that idea. Suspend this one. All right, and this is just like putting in a 2-5-1, because that suspension, it's kind of like a D minor 7th, so you could even make it D minor 7th. And then the G 7th. You could change it sooner, but then you end up with that. So, I don't know, you keep it suspended like that. Just unsuspend it there on the very last note. Or just do it. It doesn't matter. See, it sounded okay, right? Because we didn't sit there very long. So they're using the idea of a block chord. If you're going to go to C 7th, you got a half step above it. You could just slide down like that instead of trying to do that diminished stuff. It's a pretty nice song. It'd be fun to play in a trio setting for sure. One of those happy jazz songs. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.